Hello guys, Nikita here and welcome to the third part of this tutorial. And yeah guys, today I have lit up some candles, some red lights, so today is super comfortable and we are almost there. And this is where we ended in the last part with some super basic lighting. As we see, we have some things to do, the lighting is not so good on the cosmetics as they should, and this one is too dark here. But today we will just do only lighting. And yeah, it will be absolutely perfect and super beautiful, and you will learn a lot about lighting and what's important. And yeah, then maybe we will do some extra things and maybe set up some cameras, or we will do it in the next part, but I don't know. Anyway, let's do it. Okay, so first of all, I delete all of the light that we have, and then we just have the basic lighting of Octane. And we just need, if we go to objects, an HDR environment, and it's getting black because we don't have any HDR environment, and we don't really need one because yeah, we won't see any reflections. So yeah, we will just do it completely manually with light sources, so we have complete control over it. So we just can bring the power completely down. Okay, and now we can just start and play around and see what happens. So if we check here our reference image here, we have definitely first let's concentrate on the rocks and then later on the cosmetics and all that stuff. So we see here on the bottom we have a light source on the top. Always guys, if you are doing some work and you have references, check the image out and just look and observe what is happening. If we see here, one light source is coming from up, pretty bright one. Then we have one main light source coming from the left, because as you see one left side is a little bit brighter and the right side is a little bit darker. It's I have to do a tutorial on 3-point light setup or just basic lighting, because a lot of people, they just do either both sides very bright or one side super bright and the other side super dark, or just completely dark picture, you know? But that's everything wrong. But yeah, so we everywhere need light, but we still need brighter spots, darker spots, and something where to guide the eye on, you know, for example, also here, the eye is guiding to the cosmetics and everything around it. It's just decoration, you know, but still. Also, if we see, if we would just have a light source from left and from the top, then the bottom would be too dark, you know, and you see here perfectly, we have, if I zoom in, guys, I love it so much, this kind of highlights, you know, we have a bottom light source. That's also super important. And to addition to that, we have, you see here in the background, just a little bit of background rim light. You see it here on that edge, you know, because otherwise it's in electronics product renderings, we want to emphasize all the edges and we want to make it pop. You know, because, yeah, it's super theoretical what I'm talking here, but if you want to really learn it, that's also important to understand. And for example, imagine that edge wouldn't be so bright. Then it would be just gray, as the same as our background, you know? And then it would be just one same thing. It wouldn't pop, because right here it's super bright. It's a white cut, white edge separating the background from the decoration. So yeah, some theory here in the beginning. Super important, guys. If you just skip, okay, then let's just do what I'm doing first. I will just bring in a null object, so we can just use it as a target for the light source, and I just bring it more or less to the middle here, and we call it just main target. And with our main target, we can bring in, yeah, you can go here to objects and lights, but I will do it. I have here, in the menu, object, target, area lights, you get the point. And you see, we have directly that light always pointing to our target here. That's super important. Yeah, you see that light source, even if we make it smaller and we make it not so bright, and you see we have weird lighting, too much. Okay, just one more thing before we start with the lighting. Because, yeah, as you see here in the last tutorial, my stones were gray, but they were already color corrected. And in this tutorial, they are brownish because it's the original color, and oftentimes the stones are brownish or something. but we want to go with something like this cooler color and more grayish. So for that, yeah, just bring in, I have like my Octane Rig Pro here from Nicomedia, but you can just go again like objects, HDI environment, or just like even with normal like light and Octane daylight, just to give it a little bit of light. And yeah, it's not important that our drop bottles are here overexposed. We just want to focus now on our stones. And yeah, that's super fast. So we just go to our textures of our rock. And that's usually how it comes, you know, like you have an albedo or color map, you have like roughness map, normal map, and displacement map. Like those are the most important. And we just want to desaturate it, everything a little bit. So we just bring in a color correction node between the diffuse and our albedo map. And yeah, we just bring the saturation way down, and you see it's already getting pretty cool. And yeah, then we can just play a little bit around with like the gamma, maybe make it a little bit brighter or something. But yeah, that's not so important right now because we first have to do the lighting. And yeah, the same things for the other rocks. I will just go to the same texture. Here we don't even have like a displacement map. Doesn't matter. So again, color correction, just drag it in and just bring the saturation down. Don't go to 0 because then it's literally just black and white. Always a little bit color is good. And yeah, just the last one again. So just a color correction node and just drag it on top. So yeah, we are ready to go for our lighting. Yeah, and that's already, that looks cool. I like that. Yeah, with the background and all that stuff. Yeah, if we check here our reference image, like we work now with a backdrop, so with a banded one, so we have a ground, but here we don't really have one, and we have just a gradient in the background. So we could do it like in Photoshop and just render that out as an alpha, so with a transparent background. But in that kind of stuff, it's good if we have a little bit of background, like a real one, because then we just get a little bit like kind of light bouncing off, and it will just, yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes not. So let's do that. So we can just select our plane here and just disable it. And yeah, now we see our HDI environment. It's, as I said, it doesn't matter which one we take now because we won't use any. And we just take a plane, rotate it 90 degrees, bring it in the background, and just scale it up a little bit. And yeah, we have already our Octane diffuse color, so we can just bring it in. It's just absolutely, yeah, you see it's already better because we also don't have any shadows. So yeah, we can also play around a little bit later with the color. But I think now we can start with the lighting. So I just go to our my HDI Octane Sky here and just bring the power down. And the first thing is I just want to bring in a null object. So here just a null object, and just bring it into the middle of our composition, because that we can use as a main target for our light sources. So we can go to objects, lights, and Octane targeted area light. But I will do it here. And yeah, we can just drag it on top, and you see already that's not exactly what we want, even if we make it smaller and we make it less bright. Yeah, it's not what we want, because if you're also like going to a museum or something, or because if you maybe saw it already, like in a museum or like statues or something, they have like a top light, but most of the time it's like a spotlight. It's like a defined spotlight. It's not a bright area light which just lights everything, you know. So we also want to do it here, and that's also very easy. So we can disable this light, and again we just go to our main target and create here like an Octane IES light. And it's a little bit different. Let me bring the target here. So exactly, let's delete the first one so it's not confusing us. And you see we don't have any light. And the cool thing is about IES lights is you can bring your own texture. You go to the Octane camera tag and you go to distribution, and here on the distribution you can use your own IES light. Yeah, I have here like a big pack You can download it for free. I will link it to you. It's really good, but I'm mostly using just this one here, the defined spot one. So we just click on the IES, not on the image. And yeah, we can just press no. And you see that's already much more interesting. And now we can just play a little bit around, like with the size, with the brightness. It's always good to bring it a little bit more up, and maybe also the position. I just want a little bit more of this top there. Yeah, something like that. And you see it's super dark, but it's good because now we can just really focus like on the first lights. And also, if we check here and zoom in a little bit, here for example 0.5 are very important, guys. I don't know, maybe if we go to our octane settings, yes, I forgot to go over that. We just go to our octane settings, very important, path tracing, just for now 1000 samples. We don't need so much specular depth, or maybe for our bottle here, so we can bring it a little bit up. We don't need any scatter depth, and yeah, diffuse depth 7 or 8. NGI clamp we can make 10. So that will bring a little bit more light into the scene. We don't need 1 million. And just to make it a little bit faster, we have to check adaptive sampling. And yeah, if you're doing like animation, do static noise here. So yeah, that's something like that. And you see, we also have, because the light is coming from top and not just lighting on the stone, like we have all that detail here. And if we even go to our stone texture, we have like a displacement map. And don't forget to make the level of detail like to the highest, like the texture is, if you really need it like that, if it's close up. So you have the highest detail, and maybe just bring up a little bit of the height. So you see it's getting even more rough. And yeah, I think that looks really cool. Maybe it's a little bit too much. So something 1.2. And yeah, I think that's for now really it, because as we see, like our cosmetics bottle is also very nice, well lit. And maybe we can use it like that. But for now it's okay, because we just need like all the other light sources, like to have like this whole big picture. So I just call this top IES, and we can disable it, and we can use our main target to create a new, this time octane target area light. And what I also do is to go to the octane light tags, or I mean, I just realized we don't have a camera in our scene. So let's just bring in a camera, an octane camera, and just go in, and you know it already, like let's just pick like 100, and yeah, maybe something like, yeah, just something like here. Yeah, it's not super straight, but yeah, it's not so important. And yeah, let's bring our light definitely a little bit down. And also, so the light just doesn't burn so much, we have to go to our octane camera tag, to the camera imager, enable it, and just bring in the highlight compression just a little bit. So yeah, we don't have so harsh lighting. That works often very good. And now we can play with our left light here. So this is here on the left. And you see we want something like that. We want like much of it on the light, but just on the left side, but we still want like this detail. And for that is, if you, for example, also watch in the real world, like if it's day and you have sunshine, you have very hard shadows. Like if you just stay and you look at your shadow, you have a very hard edge, because the light source is super far away and is super small, you know? That like if the sun would be much bigger, then our shadow would be also much more diffused. So what that is saying us, we have to make our light much smaller or thinner, and make it just a little bit higher, maybe even something like that, and just find the angle, make it definitely a little bit brighter, as you see. And you see we have a little bit more contrast in the light. Let's bring in our top light, and yeah, you see that's really cool. And I like the plants with the transmission. And you see we have like here a little bit everywhere of light. We have like this main light on the left. Maybe we could even make the left light a little bit cooler. So just bring in a little bit, make the temperature a little bit higher. So it's just a little bit more bluish. But that's also not so important because we will do most of it in Photoshop. And again, I just disable my top light here. And yeah, I just want to find something interesting. Yeah, you see, if we just bring it a little bit more back, we have more of this interesting stone shapes. And just let's make our light even brighter a little bit. Because a lot of the times, the renderings of the people are too dark. It's better to make it a little bit brighter, but not to overblow it, and render it in PSD or EXR in 32-bit. So you have like more information and you can make it in the post darker. It's better like that. But I like that a lot, honestly. And it's just 2 light sources. And I think that looks really cool. And what we could do now is we could make like this gradient here in the backside. And for that, that's also super easy. Again, we just create a null object. And we just go to F1 to our main camera and bring like this null object like into the kind of the middle of our screen here. And again, just F2 to go into the perspective and just bring it here. And this is our BD lights for backdrop light. And we just bring again a octane IES light, or we just copy and paste our octane IES light and we call it IES backdrop. And into the target, we throw our target light that we just created. And exactly, you see, now this light is just shining on our backdrop, and we can make it a little bit bigger. And yeah, maybe our diffuse backdrop color should be like a little bit more brighter and maybe a little bit kind of colorish, so a little bit blue greenish, just a little bit, and just brighter. Yeah, maybe even brighter. And still, you see, like our scene is still too dark. And let's just rotate our backdrop here, like to our camera, like parallel, you know what I mean? Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I don't like it right now so much. Because yeah, the dark parts here, but yeah, we can make it later. It's not so important. We can make now like our right side a little bit with light. So because right now it's just too dark, like the contrast is too hard. So yeah, we can just turn off our light for now here, and like our plane, we don't need it right now. Yeah, what I just did, I just bring like this backdrop a little bit more behind. And so it's like more in the same angle to the camera, and I just bring in like this IES light a little bit more up. So we have something like that, but again, it's not so important right now. Right now it's important also like to turn off like our visibility checkpoints here. So yeah, and also, so yeah, we have something like that. And now we have to, yeah, definitely make like, you see like the down and the right is definitely too dark. So again, we can just, disable our light here, our top light, and just disable our left light and duplicate it with control click and just call it right light, and just bring it like definitely to the right side and activate it, of course. And yeah, and you see it's already, what we can already do is definitely bring in like to much lower the light a little bit down, maybe 20 or something. And yeah, just see if it works. Yeah, maybe turn off the light, and you see, yeah, we bring a lot of, we light up the shadows. That's very good. And if we turn on all of our lights, yeah, you see we have like this kind of light left side and a little bit darker right side, but I think we should still make it a little bit darker, so it's a little bit more contrasty. And let me bring that light maybe a little bit more behind. So we again get like the structure. And I think this is cool, you know, like it's coming a little bit, so we get again like this edge here, but we will do it also manually later. And yeah, if we turn on our backdrop light, if it loads a little bit, it's getting interesting. Maybe, yeah, it's too dark, you see? It's definitely too dark. So I just have to make every light a little bit brighter. Just a little bit. And also our left light, maybe 60. because yeah, with the bright background, it's definitely getting too dark. But right now you see like the plants are glowing a little bit, like our grass, like our cream and our wood. It looks much better, and maybe even make the right light just a tiny bit brighter. And yeah, I think I like that. And now we can create a bottom light. And again, we just disable all of our light. We go to our main target and again, bring an octane targeted area light. And we just bring it here below our composition, and definitely make it much smaller, because we just want to light some edges. And yeah, something like that. But you see, we needed to bring more to the front. Yeah, something like that. It's definitely too bright, so maybe 40. And again, guys, just focus here on the lower stone, because all of the other parts we have already a light. But guys, again, you see, I like that a lot, because if we just take this stone here, this rock, we have like here kind of a nice edge. And again, like you see, like all that rough details, and that's perfect, because if we would just bring it, for example, you see, exactly, if we would just bring it like to the top, you know, and maybe just, I don't know, like maybe make it here a little bit, just 20 or something. That's what a lot of people are doing, you know, like, and you know, that's what a lot of people are doing. Like they take an object which has a lot of detail, like a nice texture or like especially nature elements, and they just put like a front light to it. It's the same as a photographer. He would never make a photo of a model with a front light, because it just looks flat like that. And that's what we are doing here. If we go Control Z, you see, like we bring our light below it, because then all that sprinkles and like rough surfaces, if it reloads here, yeah, you see, yeah, it's day and night, and we just make a little bit of a different angle, you know, like it's coming from down. Or it could also work if we put it left or right, but we have already a left and right light. But look, and also like if we see here, you see, like the plants, like some are, they have like a height, and like the top part is sticking out and catching the light, but not the whole plant, you know. And this is super important, like to understand and to play around with it and to gain some experience. And we call it just like a bottom light. And look, guys, if we bring everything together and let it load a little bit, guys, I don't know, like 15-20 minutes, it could be already finished, you know, but it's not finished yet. And yeah, and if we look at right now here, we see that this part is cool. Maybe this one is too dark, and I still have here a little bit too much light. So let's go to our left light and just bring it up a little bit, because I don't want, honestly, this lower part here to be lit, and maybe bring it a little bit back. Exactly. You see, now we have like on the top part more light, and on the lower part of the top rock less light, because before it was too much light on all of the rock. And look, that will look already much better, I'm sure. It's not really, because I think this part here, which is too bright for me, is coming from the bottom light. So we just go to our bottom light and we just make it smaller. Yeah, we don't need the light here. We can make it even smaller and bring it more closely. And maybe even just bring it a little bit right. Exactly. So yeah, you see, we still have those plants catching light. We have like this edge, we have like this beautiful shape here. And if we bring in all of the light sources again, yes, I like that much more, because it's like here, you see like this part, you have like this crack, like this angle here. And we have also like this angle here, and this part is a little bit getting darker. It's still not perfect, but yeah, I don't want that it's taking too long. So let's just continue. Maybe try to make this part here a little bit brighter, but literally just a little bit. So let's copy our bottom light here and just make it really slow. Just bring it really close, and also visibility, uncheck everything so you don't see it. And yeah, just make it much less bright. You see, still not from the front, still with the angle. So we have like this kind of plants catching light, some not, and we have like this edge. And now it should look really good, and we can make it a little bit brighter. So number 30 maybe. Yes, 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 guys. Look, if we take here our region here, which we wanted to improve, if we take this, you see like here, like this plants, like with this translucency is perfect, and without this light, boom, it's just too dark. And that's the whole part, you know. And if you watch my other tutorials, it's always bring in the light, see what happens. Where is too much light? Where is too less light? Where do we need like more details and all that stuff? And perfect, guys, that's exactly what we need. And even if we zoom in a little bit and make the zoom a little bit bigger, and if we zoom in here on our cosmetic light here, it's lit pretty good. But we see here, it's this metallic part is dark because we have no HDI and no light. But that's we will solve now. So we can still be in that view. Don't forget to save. And what we do now, we just click on our, let's bring all that light into a group. So Alt G to scene light. So we just have a little bit of organization. So we just select our tube. I just renamed it, and I bring in a octane targeted area light. And what we do, we just, exactly, you see, we just bring it somewhere. So we see it here on the reflections, and don't worry that everything is overblown. We call it tube light reflection, because we will give our octane camera light, octane light tag, light pass ID number 2, and we go to our tube and we give our tube with right click an octane tag and object tag, because then we go to object layer and use light mask pass mark, enable, and press 2. And again, you see it's dissolved, but we go to our octane settings here in the viewport, and light linking invert, we just check 2. And now that light is only lighting our bottle, our tube here. And that's the interesting thing, because now we can make it even a little bit wider. We can make it much less light. So you see, we only have the reflection. And now the important part is we go to texture and we just bring in the gradient light. And you see already, like here, it's already beautiful. Like here you can play around, like, and that's like, I don't go too deep into it, because yeah, you could even copy it right now and just make the visibility of both everything to 0. And you see, you can just bring a second light. You can just play like around with reflections. For example, we have like here our first light that we just created, like this kind of gradient. It's just black to white. And you see, if we turn off the second light, it's just, yeah, a gradient. And we could go on our gradient and just bring the middle white in the middle point and make the right black one. And you see, then we have like a gradient from both sides. And yeah, now you can just literally just play around and see if you like that, or maybe you just want to white and black and just copy and paste it and just bring it into a little bit of a different position. And maybe you can go to the second one and just invert the gradient with right click, and then you see you have like something like that, you know. And maybe you could even, if you're like in a very good mood, you could bring like a third one, but then you see it's getting to starting like not really cool, but yeah, something like that. And maybe just bring extremely down like the, yeah, you see we have some kind of a studio lighting, and maybe just bring it a little bit more to the left. You see, guys, like it's, yeah, man, I don't know, I like that. Like maybe even bring one light source like really to the back and make it like really huge to just fill in a little bit of the light, and just literally make it, I don't know, like 0.4. You see, like even less, maybe 0.05. So exactly, we just make the dark spots a little bit brighter. And guys, I don't know what about you, but I like it like so fast. Of course, it's for tutorial, I like it a lot, but I like it also like that a lot. But I would tweak and adjust it a little bit, but it's like 5 minutes, you know. And if we turn off all of our light, we don't have reflections, and boom. And let's look how it looks in all of the composition. Guys, I think that looks really awesome, guys. It's so fast again. It's so fun with you guys doing that. Like, leave a like, subscribe. Guys, like, and even the fourth part, we will do so much in the fourth part. It's just the, like, kind of still the beginning, you know? So, exactly, that's perfect. And now a little bit, yeah, like this little bottle looks like a little bit, oh, you forgot me, light me as well, or something like that, you know? Let's go to our cute little bottle here and maybe just zoom in a little bit more. So yeah, we have something like that, and you see that's already super slowly. And yeah, what we can do, we could even try, again, create a IES light. You remember, like, the spotlight from the top, and just bring it a little bit to the front. So what I will do, I will select my bottle here and just, again, create the octane IES light. And it's not working, I don't know, but okay, I just right click, camera tags, just right click, animation tags, target tag, and we just bring into our target tag our drop bottle. Yes, you see? And now we can, yeah, look how much light sources. And guys, that's the whole magic, you know, like, you don't need HDRIs if you don't have any reflections. We could even, like, the reflections we do ourselves, you know, like, we have so much more control of our light without an HDRI. HDRIs are also good, but not for that kind of shot. So what we do, we have our drop ES light, and we go again to the light tag, distribution, and bring in again our define spot. Like, I have so many of that light sources. I think I tried them a few times, but I didn't like it, and I'm afraid to use something new, but I don't know. It's like this define spot is exactly doing what I need, you know? So yeah, you see, that's already, yes, that's already much, much better. And yeah, maybe we could just play a little bit around. So yeah, also I see, because the light, the grass is a little bit too high, we could just bring in the bottle just a little bit up, because anyways we won't see it. And yeah, we have something like this. And yeah, I think that's okay. We could play a little bit around. Yeah, maybe, like, if we see here, like, our reference image, like, this whole part has like a nice reflection, and we are missing it here because it's too dark. So again, we can just cheat a little bit. We select our drop bottle, we bring in an octane target area light, but this time we call it, I don't know, drop light. Go to light tag and light pass ID here on light settings, press number 3. And we go to our drop bottle, again, right click, octane object tag, object layer, enable, press number 3. So we shouldn't see the light. We don't see anything at all. 1 second. And we go to our octane settings. Don't forget to save, light linking invert number 3. So now our light is only lighting the bottle, but the light is blocking the camera view. So again, we go to our light tag and disable everything here, and boom, we see what we need. So now we just have to bring again, like, the light a lot down, make it smaller because it's too much light. I just want like an edge or something, and now we can make it a little bit brighter. So you see, guys, yes, that's what I want. Yeah, because without that, if we just take this part here, it's too dark, and with the light, yes, we have a little bit more of a light. And if we now go back to our main composition, I let it load a little bit to really see what happens. But guys, honestly, look, the plants, they get light. Like here you see like this kind of translucency, like light getting a little bit, plants getting a little bit more light, some a little bit less. You have like here a light edge, you have here a light edge, and what I told you like in the beginning, like I just want this edge here because I don't know, I like it. So let's try to get an edge here and maybe even here and maybe, yeah, just let's see. So let's disable all of our light here for a second. So yeah, it's again dark, and let's, maybe let's try with the main target here. So we select our main target, we bring in an octane target area light, and we just, again, we have to turn off all the visibility, make it much smaller, so like much sharper. Boom, guys, it's getting into the right direction. We go to light settings, we make it a little bit brighter. Yeah, maybe we can bring even a little bit of color, maybe make it a little bit of orange, maybe that will work. Let's see. So yeah, that's too much. Like, just bring it closer. You see, I'm like really behind all that scene. And yeah, something like that. But I don't want to light the plant. So we just go give this light light pass ID number 4, and we just go to those plants here. We just find them, which plants those are. So this one's here, we go to octane object tag and duplicate it and select both. Light path number 4, we tick it, and you see it's not lit anymore. And now what we can make this light even brighter, but also even smaller. And I think we are getting there. I just want like that edge, you know, like, and nothing more, but I get here a little bit of light, but let's see how everything looks. And yeah, we have something like that. And I think, yes, I like that a lot more. Okay, that looks awesome. Like the light, I think, is perfect. And let's do now, like just a little bit of decoration. I don't know, like I'm in the mood, maybe it will work now. So we just bring in Taurus and we just rotated it, I don't know, 90 degrees, and we make our ring much smaller and also in that scale. And let's give it much more ring segments. We don't need so much pipe segments. And yeah, you see, because what I'm doing now is, you see, like without this Taurus, like it's framed already very cool, but we have here a little bit too much free room, you know. But here we have the plants, that's good, but I think we are missing a little bit of gold, because we have our etiquettes and our drop bottle is golden, you know. So it's cool if we have somewhere in our scene a little bit of a gold. It doesn't have to be even much, but it will just make a little bit of a difference, and it will just make everything a little bit more interesting. But that's like pure artistic. You can use it, you don't have to. We can just put in like a metallic material and yeah, something like that, and maybe duplicate it, and yeah, duplicate it, I mean, and make one bigger than the other one. And yeah, we have something like that. And I think I like that even already. And yeah, we can play a little bit with the light, so we can get it a little bit more. But I think this is really cool, just to bring a little bit more of a decoration, just bring even more a little bit. Because even here, like if you check here in this test render, you know, like I have like this kind of, like this kind of platonic solids, like some here, some there, you know, and it, like people maybe not even realize that's there, but we could really put there something. But I will let you do that. And yeah, guys, like for that tutorial, that's awesome. It's perfectly lit. It looks, guys, you see, I love to make tutorials because this looks what we created even better what I created before. So that's so interesting, you know. And yeah, guys, that's awesome. That looks really beautiful. And like, honestly, this one looks much better than the one I've created already. And you know, that's why it's so cool that I can make with you like this tutorial. And thank you very much that you requested that tutorial. And look what we created. And yeah, like the shadows are a little bit different, but we can make it in post, because our next part I think I will do 2 more parts. Like one part is we will do in Photoshop, like all the different passes, all the different camera angles and all the post editing, because yeah, it will happen so much more. It's just raw and it looks already good, but it will look so much better. And in the last 5th part, you see, guys, it's a whole complete series, because a lot of people, nothing against them, but they're just doing one tutorial and just on a technique, but they don't show how to use it like in the real world, how to use it like in real product renderings. And what I will do like in the 5th part, like we will create like a Behance, we will create like a Behance presentation. So you can put it like on your portfolio. That piece is awesome. Like don't copy it maybe 1-to-1, maybe just use different rocks, maybe different colors or something, and you can put it on Behance. And yeah, then you have like one super nice piece in your portfolio, or maybe you have already a few pieces, so you can get one additional. So yeah, guys, that was a lot of fun today. Like with some candles, they are still burning with some red light, with 2 light sources here. It was awesome with you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. It was a lot of fun with you. So see you in the next tutorial, guys. Bye.